Nama loading ya episode 2. Aku lihat aja kami.
Udah
Udah ya.
episode 2.
Yep, episode 2 game kedua.
Oh, udah. Episode satunya aja belum selesai. Masih jauh.
Apa sih episode 1 berhubungan dengan penembakan Trump.
Hah?
Kayak penembakan percobaan penembakan presiden. Ini dibunuh.
Oh, Trump in the nutshell kah?
Kemungkinan jika kayak insidennya saja lah. Bail victim dog what the artinya sudah mau ketemu kayak Faraday di sudah mau ketemu kayak Faraday
Faraday
ini ya Tagaras ya.
Aku belum ketemu jujur, tapi aku udah tahu dari itu yang stage play.
Oh iya. Di episode 3 memang ada itu nanti. Oke.
Oh iya, udah
Ya itu tuh.
Aku baru ingat dia yang kita terjebak sama dia kan.
Iya baru lupa ya yang cara jalan keluar.
Dia bilang aku adalah pencuri. Apakah kau baru saja confess ke seorang persekutor?
The Great Thief ya Tagaras tuh.
Itulah.
Still no sign of them. The killing of Bastian Rowe. Damn, baru 2 hari. This is horrible. How did Mr. Knight get himself murdered? I can hardly believe it myself, but there can be no doubting the evidence of our own eyes. And what's he doing here? I thought he was being held in the detention center, no? He must have been. His trial hadn't even begun yet. The law states that until convicted, suspects are to be kept in cells separate from the main prison. Only those who have been found guilty are sent to the prison proper. There's no way Nike should have been in here. Maybe he wandered his way over? The detention center and the prison are separated not only by 2 heavy doors, but also lengthy corridor. Okay. That would have been a long way to wander, especially for a detainee. I suppose we better take a closer look at Mike's body. We'll need to examine the scene of the crime carefully if we want to get to the bottom of this. What's with all the weird equipment? I'm not sure, but I don't see anything particularly suspicious here. Smells weird though, kinda musky, like wet fur. I know you had such a keen nose. Oh, it's nothing special really, except when it comes to sniffing out treasure. Remind me to seal all my valuables away in airtight containers. No way, Mr. Ratchford. I never steal any of your stuff. But you'll happily steal someone else's? I'm not sure that's entirely reassuring. Okay, there's a medicine here. Oh, nothing. It's a thing. It doesn't seem to contain any useful clues. Nope. No whiff of treasure either. You do know we're not actually looking for treasure, right? Okay, what's this? Time to inspect every suspicious looking nook and cranny. I must survey the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Huh. Hmm, looks like a pulley of some kind. Maybe the prisoner used it for work? I suppose so, yes. Okay, so I know you're going to say no, but absolutely not, Kay. You are not permitted to swing on that rope. Ah, I knew it. Ah, I should have known you were being serious. Okay. There was a rope near Nike's body too. Speaking of which, wanna see my super stealthy rope escape trick? Thanks, but I'll let you know when I'm in need of saving. She seems genuinely disappointed. Okay. These stars are rather colorful. They kinda stand out in a room like this, don't they? They certainly don't look like they belong in a prison. Look, there's a weapon on top of them. You know who that reminds me of, right? Hey, maybe it's actually hers. Maybe she left it in here. Not a chance. She and her whip are attached at the wrist. Trust me. What the cell? Weird having something like this in a prison, huh? A cage inside a cage? Technically, a prison isn't made up of cage, but cells. What's the difference? No offense, Mr. Richard, but you've gotta look at the basic nature of things more. Yes, and the basic nature of an investigation is the pursuit of accurate facts and information. Bronco 9, killed the day before his court date. We better take a closer look. The body is partially covered by a dirt-stained tarp, and there's a wrap on top of it. Was Knight tied up with the wrap somehow? We shall take a look under the sheet as well. Ah, look at that red stuff. Yes, I say that's blood. We shall keep looking around. There's bound to be more secrets to uncover, I'm sure of it. Huh. Hmm, a rubber glove. Yep, just the one though. I should examine it in more detail. Okay, just inmate use only. Inmate use only. I guess that means that it must be one of the prisoner who was using it, right? Yes, you'll certainly imagine so. The fingers are covered in blood on this side. I think we can safely assume that this glove was dropped sometime after Nike's blood had been split. We can? How come? Because had it been on the floor when the pool of blood was forming, then the blood would have flowed around it, but not underneath it. Oh, meaning there'd be only a band of blood around the edges of fingers and not all over the backside. Assuming the glove was discarded after the blood had pooled around the body. Maybe our murderer did it after they did the deed. It's certainly a possibility. At the very least, whoever it was that dropped it must have seen the body. You there? Yes, sir. Have you seen that glove before? Yes, sir. The prisoner wear them for work. It's strange, though. Prisoner issue with those gloves are under strict orders to keep them in their cell. They aren't allowed to take them out without permission, and we always check. I suppose that will explain why there aren't any other gloves in the workshop. Okay. His neck brace is soaked with blood from the hole in his neck. I would assume that's the cause of death, and that it was probably instantaneous. He wouldn't have even had the chance to cry out for help. Hmm? There's a small cut on his scalp, too. Was he struck with something? Maybe he fell and hit his head after he was stabbed in the throat? It's possible, but it's too early to say with any certainty. Okay, you have your camera with you, correct? Could you lend it to the detective so that he can photograph the body? Sure thing, all yours, Gummy. Thanks, alright, here we go. His clothes sure are a mess though, huh? Indeed, they appear to be covered in dirt. Guess he's like me when it comes to laundry. It would be a grave error to think that anybody else could be quite like you, detective. Okay, chess piece. Is that? Oh, I've seen one of these in your office, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm sure you have, detective. It's a pocket chess set the victims, I imagine. Makes sense, he loved chess after all. Yeah, it would have been a good way to pass the time. Okay. There's something on his finger. Let's take a closer look, Mr. Edgeworth. It's a ring, and an expensive looking one at that. Don't even think about it, Kay. What? I didn't say anything. Huh. The blood drop. These stops have a pretty distinctive design, in fact. It's the same design as the bloody tarp around Mr. Knight's body. Yes, you took the words right out of my mouth. That will teach you to be so careless, Mr. Edgeworth. You need to keep your treasure close when there's a great thief around. I thought you were on sabbatical. Not bad, a bit of evidence gathering. Nothing can stop us when we're on the hunt together, right, Gummy? You betcha. We're unstoppable. A regular Three Musketeer. Let's not get carried away, detective. There's one thing we still haven't found. Huh? What do you mean, sir? What's missing from this crime scene? A murder weapon. I see no sign of a murder weapon anywhere. You're right. I didn't even think of that. Come now, detective. These are basic investigative principles we're talking about here. Yeah, I guess. Sorry, sir. Don't worry, Gami. It hadn't crossed my mind either. A fact that hardly puts my mind at ease, okay? Items that could prove even potentially lethal are strictly controlled within a prison. After all, we wouldn't want the inmates getting their hands on them, would we? Which means acquiring a murder weapon would be hard enough, let alone leaving the scene with done. Oh yeah, nice thinking, Mr. Ashworth. What was the murder weapon? And where has it gone? The answer to this question may be the keys to figuring out what happens. Huh? Didn't know the guy had a whole entourage. Excuse more? But this is the scene of crime, right? You're... Wait a second, are you... No way. Those piercing eyes. That furrowed brow. Mr. Fender, it has been far too long. I know, right? But even after all this time, I know that deep bow anywhere, and that neckwear ops. Manfred von Karma, the man, the legend, gotta say. I didn't expect to see you here. What are you talking about, pal? This is Mr. Edgeworth, not that old geezer. Detective, please. Edgeworth? Wow, guess that explains the fresh face. Huh. Can't blame a guy for mixing you two up, so you're splitting image of the old devil in this day. I see you haven't changed. How many years has it been? Man, good question. But who's counting, eh? Been away traveling so long I lost track. You know how it is. But you know what I do remember? You betraying everything you are supposed to stand for. Wow. Whoa, where did that come from? And who are you anyway? This is a defender. He's a defense attorney. A defender. Enchanted, as they say. Fender's the name, and the defending's the game. I'm a bit of an ace attorney. Detective Dick comes here. And I'm Kay Faraday, great thief. I'm on sabbatical at the moment, though. A great thief? Wow, that's so romantic. Trashy, if you will. Right? It's nice to finally meet someone who gets it. I'm looking to expand the franchise. Actually, I even made signing up super simple. Sounds awesome. I'd love to come hang with you guys, if you'll have me. Sorry, I should have also mentioned that it's girls only, and they have to be super fun and super cool and... Hey, I totally get it. No hard feelings, yeah? Come on, bring it in. You've got to be kidding. My bad, my bad. I'm just so used to how they do things elsewhere, you know? Ahem. And why are you here, Mr. Fender? Oops, almost forgot this is your scene. Keeping the defense out of is strategy number one in the Von Karma playbook, after all, isn't it? Hmm. Hey, quit with all the Von Karma stuff, pal. What gives? Detective, calm yourself. His attitude is, unfortunately, understandable. It is? I take it you are Mr. Next attorney. Guilty as charged, Your Honor. Well, I was supposed to be, anyway. So he was planning to represent Knight if his client hadn't been murdered. He and I would have faced up against each other in court. I better see what he has to say for himself. Okay. This part of the floor is covered with dirt. You know what that means, sir? Footprints. Too many footprints, unfortunately. We'll need specialists to identify them. Guess we just gotta wait till forensic gets here. Yeah, and in the meantime, if you could refrain from treading all over it, wouldn't wanna slip up and get the old jacket dirty, huh? Good point, Mr. Richard. Thanks. My concern was for the footprints, not your jacket, detective. What is it, Mr. Richard? So this is what the inside of a prison looks like. Good to know, good to know. Someone's highly motivated to learn today. You're just not on top of your game, Mr. Cho. This stuff is important. Gotta be prepared for when the time comes. Which will never come for me, I must say. Still, I won't discourage you from finding out more. I need to gather a little more information for myself, and then use my powers of logic to piece it together. Anything out of the ordinary to report, officer? Yes, sir. There's this one thing. Go on. There's a body in the workshop, sir. He's right. That's definitely out of the ordinary. If anything else occurs to you, you know where to find me. Okay. Yes, sir. The thing's pretty small. You don't lose it all the time. The sacred symbol of my office? No, detective, I do not. Guess it's a good thing I'm not prosecutor, huh? I'd lost 100 this week alone. I lost my badge at least that often, huh? That's quite a talent. Wait a minute, it all makes sense now. I just figured out why people say checkmate. Go on. It's because chessboards are checkered. More logical than I expected, to be honest. I think you'll find, detective, that checkmate is an expression meaning the king is dead. It has nothing to do with the pattern on the board. Oh, dang, thought I made a real breakthrough there. Perhaps the breakthrough you ought to be striving to make is learning how to tell when you're the one doing the checkmating or the one being checkmate. Yeah, guess I've still got ways to go in the game of life. Let's search for anything else. Huh, for me? You shouldn't have. I always wanted to rock one of these. Thanks, you're a star. I never said I was giving it to you. I'm just thinking your chain. I've already got a badge of my own, see? You don't wear your tennis badge? Once in a blue moon. Goes nicely with my winter coat as it happens. Guys get a dress to impress, you know what I mean? Impress who exactly? So the victim asked you to present him. Sure did. We were supposed to have little chat today. As was I. But the guard showed up instead and told us that his body had been found. I'm as bummed about it as you. Even brought him some minis to cheer him up. Mr. Fender, you know you can bring food into the prison. Ha, oh yeah. Well, it's here now. Want some? Little fries I pick up on my travels. Some more rich. No, thank you. Fine, you do you. What are you doing here anyhow? Don't tell me you wanted to hear nice side. Von Karma was always more of a convict the defendant at all costs guy. He didn't teach you that? That was a long time ago. If you say so. Sure you don't wanna any winnings? No, thank you. Have you met with your client previously? Yes, indeed, Your Honor. Just yesterday, in fact. The prankster called me the minute he was arrested. Sounded really freaked out, man. Oh yeah, mention your little performance too. According to him, you really made a nuisance of yourself. And that kind of word was spoken. I'm sure, well, sticks and stone and all that. Boy, did he not like you. Just talk you something fierce, huh? Can say I didn't join in the fun though. Fun? How dare you, Mr. Fender? Lighten up, kid. I'm kind of fixture in the visitor's room here. And I don't think I've ever had much of a guess. Oh, so you come here a lot? Hey, don't go getting the wrong idea, little sis. I'm never on the wrong side of the bars. Just happen to know someone who is. The visitor rooms is usually where I'm at, but this isn't exactly my first time in the clean either. In which case, I better ask him what he knows about this room. Tell me, what do you know about the scene of the crime? Huh? Oh, this room. No, no, dude. What do you know about it? I'll give you three choices. More a recreation room. Maybe recreation. Is it a recreation room? Wow, I don't even want to know how you spend your spare time, Major. But I guess there's plenty here you could play with if you use your imagination, perhaps. Now let's see what the answer key has to say, shall we? Oh no, you got it wrong. This is actually a workshop. So all the options he gave me were wrong. How infantile. They can't come here to perform various duties. They can learn new skills too, bearing some qualification for when they're back on the street. I see, and how is access to this room controlled? Who has the key? Chill out, Edgeworth. I don't have all the answer. My man over there probably does though. Right, compadre? Yes, sir. Those workshops are unlocked with physical keys. Their doors are fitted with sensors instead. What kind of sensors? Inmates are issued with special bracelets, sir. When they walk through a workshop door, the sensor checks their bracelet. And if they're not supposed to be there, ding ling ling ling, an alarm sound. If they let it ring for too long, then bzzz, they get a real shock, if you know what I mean. And if they try to break or remove the bracelet, bzzz, shock 3 times worse than that. What? That's brutal. I guess they need to ensure that the inmates follow the rules. But that sounds a bit excessive. If they wish to pass through a door like this one, prisoners need to be accompanied by a guard. We disable the sensor for them and let them in. You get all that? Have any prisoner used this workshop today? No, sir. No one's been in here for days. I know if they had. So no prisoner have entered, let alone used this workshop today. Which means that there's a contradiction in this crime scene. Namely, there's something here that shouldn't be. I'll take another quick look over the crime scene and apply my powers of deduction to solve this. Hmm. Arrested for murder on the afternoon of the 25th and killed in the morning of the 27th. Talk about instant karma. Never would have thought our purple turned a victim himself though. Yes, I don't like this at all. You don't think it was that ice cream guy, do you, sir? Max had seen his face, right? Maybe he couldn't afford to let him live. Shelly the killer, you mean? Now, if this were his doing, he would surely have left a calling card. And besides, Nick isn't the only one who knows what he looks like. We do too. Oh yeah, and I guess you're still alive, so... Still, this is high security facility. I just don't understand how it was even possible. Guess it makes sense having the detention center and a prison in the same building. Means they can share the visitor's room. Indeed, it's an unusual design, but it's certainly convenient for anyone visiting. Yeah, but then why have two different areas in the first place? For the two different classes of detainees, of course. There's pre-trial trial and pro- these two facilities may be housed in the same building in this case, but they're actually, well, I know they're both camp dark and don't let you leave when you want. Perhaps you spending a night in each would help clarify the difference between them? No, I'm good, thanks. Post-trial. Okay, anything that gets your attention. Oh, no logic. This one. Prisoners unable to come and go from this workplace as they please. Worship. The door sensor will detect their bracelet and the alarm will sound. What's more, according to the guard, no prisoner were authorized to be in this room at all today. And yet, here we have a rubber glove of the kind issued to inmates. This is clear contradiction. So where did the glove come from, sir? I don't know, detective. Not yet, anyway. All I know for now is that the glove is a valuable piece of evidence. You, apart from prisoner and guards, who else has access to this room? No one, sir. This is a prison after all. Prisoner and guards are pretty much all there is. Mr. Fender, come on, don't play us like that, friend. We both know that's not true. You know as well as I do that prisoner and guards aren't the only ones who can come in here. Huh? Oh, do you mean? But sir, they're... Mr. Fender, would you care to get to the point? Who exactly are you talking about? What? You don't have a pair of peepers in that hard head of yours? You didn't see them in the way in? Wandering about in the corridor, chilling with their butts. I bet if you mose it on the door right now, you trip over one of them before you take a step. Listen, pal, we had just about enough of your baloney. Take a chill pill, big guy. I'm on your side. You know, for such a white fella, you have a very narrow mind. What did you... Detective. Sorry, sir. Look, just follow me, okay? Seeing is believing. Isn't that what they say? This is here the humans share their spaces with some special friends. Animals? Yep, fruit and feathered. Fellows of all shape and size. Kurt filled me in and how it came about. Seems they decided to try a little experiment in animal therapy a few years back. The cons are assigned to the critter each body to help keep their spirits up. Really? Wow, that sounds like so much fun. Plus, inmates can even pet care qualification if they go through some job training with the animals. Oh, that must be what all the equipment in the workshop is for. You got it. Room set up specifically for that training stuff. So, when you said somebody else could have been at the scene of the crime, Exactamundo, big guy, I was talking about these guys. That just means you're still talking baloney. What would an animal do with a rubber glove? Good question. All I'm saying is that it was possible. The rest is Mr. Prosecutor's problem. Mr. Richard, sir, if you want me to ask this piece of baloney, just say the word. Let me get this straight. Are you saying this animal can wander freely around the prison? You know the sensor on the doors? They detect prisoner bracelet and sound the alarm when somebody goes walkabout. Well, for our furry friends, it's the other way around. They are fitted with microchips that opens doors right up. They are? Uh-huh. They're implanted just under the skin around the soldiers. Big needle, quick jab, and voila. Oh, what? Doesn't it hurt? Nope, they don't feel a thing. That's what they tell me anyway. Now, where was I? Ah, right. So the point is, they're not baddies here, so there's no reason to punish them. It's ironic, really. Here in this institution where humans are caged, the animals are free to roam to their heart's content. They're not completely free though. They can leave the prison proper, for one thing. No sensor on that big mother of a Dorot, you see? Ah, what's that tinkling sound? Sir, just look at that thing. And is that a bell around its neck? Let's explain the sound, I suppose. Mr. Richard, were you seriously trying to stare it down? I refuse to lose the doubt. Not for nothing, sir, but your dog handling skills could use some work. Leave it to a pro. I know how to treat them right. Come on now, come to Gami. Man, ignored by a dog. That dog was certainly very different to the other animals, and it seemed to have a real thing against me, and only me. Alrighty then, you've met the menagerie. What's next? Guess we better interview some witness, right, sir? Indeed, we need more information regarding what was happening around the time the body was found. Then let's start with that guy. Hey, you there in the cell. Ignored again. Hello. We were wondering if you might be able to tell us anything about this morning's incident. Is anyone else a little afraid of this guy? Not a big talker, huh? It's alright, man. I'm on your side here. Let's start with a handshake, huh? Maybe a hug to break the ice? Seconds. What's that supposed to mean? Hey, I get it, man. Not everyone's a hiking type. I'm cool with that. Whoa. Round one, 10 reps each. What is that man up to? I better say what he has to say for himself. Your name? From the blue corner. It's Rocco, D259, Carcerato. Don't mind if I keep moving, do you, boss? Fighter can let this heart rate drop, you see. It doesn't look like there's any danger of that. Don't you worry, you'll lose too much weight doing all that. Gotta make weight before the fight, boss. Won't even make it into the ring if you don't. So you're... Wait, I get it. You gotta be a boxer, right? Was, back in the day. But it's good to stay fighting fit. This way, that's how I see it. So is the bear a part of your training too? Looks like an apron. It's so cute. And nothing cute about Teddy. Kid's my partner, see? This here polar bear keeps me on my toes. He seems to have loosened up little. Now's my chance. Where were you and Teddy at the time of the incident? Come on, boss. I know Stoolie. And I don't know nothing now how. I'll be the judge of that. Please answer the question. Yeah. You punched drunk or something, boss? I told you, I don't know zip. So he won't play ball. Guess there's only one thing to do, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? Indeed, the more he protests his ignorance, the more certain I am that he's hiding something. Alright, let's see exactly what you do and don't know, shall we, Mr. Carcerata? Now, let us analyze the state of play. He adopts a boxing stance when he's on high alert. My guess is that things won't go well if I push too hard at such moments. When my opponent is on offensive, I shall remain calm and bite my tongue. He's bound to reveal an opening eventually, which is when I'll pounce. First, let's see if our fans know anything about the incident. Let's start by asking about his movements and bring this fight to an end before he knows what hit him. Why don't you start by telling me what you've done today? You will answer me, Mr. Carcerata. What? You want a shot at the champ? Is that it? Then put him up, Hal. Huh. He's going on an offensive. Throwing the towel already? That's gotta be a record. Fist cuff is hardly my style. But I'm more than happy to take you in a game of chess. Incidentally, don't you get tired of ducking and diving like that all the time? You think I don't get the stamina kid? Oh, just try me. Uh, haven't you noticed it? You're back in the corner. Oh no. Curses, I should have picked my words more wisely. Oh, he tensed at the boxing and is rearing for a fight. Okay. Bite my time. Bite again. I ain't tired. Not today. Not ever. Especially not today. Took it real easy this morning. Had me some quiet cell time. Hardly broke a sweat. Really? You look pretty sweaty to me. Give me a break, will ya? I'm done talking, okay? I'm tired. Yeah, real tired. You may have kept your boxing skills sharp, Mr. Carcerata, but I'm afraid your lying needs quite a bit of work. Tired? Really? I hardly think that's possible. Especially not after you just told me about your quiet cell time this morning. Oh, you gotta be careful here, Teddy. When this guy lands, he lands. Damn, he's hiding something. I'm sure of it. I shall try asking him about what was happening the time of the incident, both in and outside his cell. I wanted to use my face in this next round. No, I'll deliver this knockout using carefully chosen words alone. Do you remember what you were doing at the time of the incident? I was catching some Z's. We both was. The incident happened only a short while ago. You seem wide awake, all things considered. Fighter's gotta be able to get up quick when he's down, but he needs his beauty sleep too. Builds muscle. Is that so? Then I apologize for waking you. I have heard that rest is an important part of any boxer training's regimen. You don't say. Some Mr. Perkins circuitous savvy when it comes to the fight game, huh? Who knew? Oh, interesting. How do you know I'm a prosecutor? I don't remember telling you. You've been eavesdropping, haven't you? You've been listening to every word we said out here in the corridor, which means you weren't asleep and that you are lying again. You're good, kid. Caught me clean with that one. Alright, I admit it. I wasn't catching no Z's. But what? A guy can work out in his cell number without liars getting involved? Or is a man taking care of himself is a crime now? The fact that we know he was awake is an important development. It could well prove that to be a useful clue. Did you notice anything strange around the time of the incident? What do you mean strange? Answer the question. Tell me what was going on around that time. Wish I could help you, boss, but I was asleep. We both was. Time to deploy my clue. Enough of your bare-faced lies. You weren't asleep. You were exercising. You told me as much as yourself. Oof, a counterpunch, huh? Shouldn't seen that one coming. It seems I have you on the ropes, Mr. Carcerata. It's time to come clean about what you know. Alright, you don't gotta shout about it. Stomping around like you own the place. Teddy and these pals have been scared enough this morning already. Already, you say? You've done well to endure this now, but I fear you'll soon be out for the count. You say the animals have been scared enough already, which implies something happened here earlier. Well, what was it, Mr. Carcerata? Quit it, will ya? I'm getting shellacked here. Fine. Somebody yell, okay? Real loud, real scared. Got all the little guys scared too. Yeah, laugh it up, Mr. Big Shot Liar. Let me see you do the same thing in the ring. Checkmate. Oh, I think we've now established that you know more than you're letting on, don't you? Fine, I'll take. You did it, Mr. Short. Let's not get carried away, okay? Our work here has only just begun. Hey, can we call a timeout here for a sec, guys? There's something super big I need to say. It's just, well, it's like fate brought us here today after all these years at your. And it's real privilege watching how you work. My opening stuff, in fact. Just thought you should know I'll be telling you now what you've become. Who know who? Keen to get the lowdown, huh? Well, that's enough. This has nothing to do with Kay. Whoa, don't have a call, man. Why so sensitive? Report whatever you wish to whomever you wish. Just do it on somebody else's time. Whatever you say, boss man. But I think he should know at least. You know, how you've been living your life since you signed on to doing things the fun karma way. After all, you've disappointed him enough for one lifetime already. Am I right? What's he talking about, Mr. Richard? Nothing that need concern you, okay? Our focus should be on Mr. Carcerata. Now, shall we continue? It's time to hear the truth at least. Huh, you won't end a glove on this one. The incident. There was a show, finished right around 10 a.m. Came back here after did some training. Leastwise, I tried to probably get the count of 2 before somebody screams, "What the? Ah!" Grace was hollering and howling, crying for help. But what can I do? I'm not cop in here, right? So I tune it out and I get back to work. I find it curious that you will pay so little heed to this desperate cry for help. Like I say, boss, what can I do? Besides, this is the joint. Don't nobody thank nobody for getting involved in what in none of their concern. I hear you, brother. Best you could do is rubberneck from in here there anyway. Am I right? You mentioned training, Mr. Carcerata. I can't help but notice how well equipped your cell is. There's a guy, the fixer, they call him. What's a fixer? Fella who can get his hands about just anything you need for a price. No way. Think he can find me perhaps, Mr. Carcerata? What you ought to ask for this is a beginner's guide to giving better testimony. Because I can promise you that you'll be down for the count in one. You put me down? Try it, you bum. And what am I? A chopped liver? There was a show, finished right around 10 a.m. Came back here after, did me some training. Yes. What kind of show was it exactly? Depends on the day. They bring 'em in from outside, see? Singers, dancers, all kinds. Gives us cons a little some things to look forward to. Nice, that sounds like fun. And you went along to see today's show? Sure, I did. Can't miss a chance to get a glimpse of the outside world now, can I? Then it was over. You were able to concentrate on your training even after hearing all that screaming? Look, if he was on the outside, maybe things would have been different. Maybe I seen what I could do. But this ain't the outside. I can't go no place even if I want to. And you think to slip out from cell to go sneak a peek? I don't think anybody else would have thought of doing that except you, Kay. If only this wasn't a person Mr. Knight might have lived. I somehow doubted it. Frankly speaking, there was no saving him. What? But if somebody could have just gotten into him in time. Mr. Carcerat is still lying. What I don't understand is why. Let's see what I can uncover by pointing out the contradiction in his testimony. What this is training in for? Let's see now. Today was stamina and rhythm work, which means jump rope. What? In the tiny cell? How? And what about Teddy? Isn't that dangerous for him? Kid's no dummy. Second I get my rope up, he jumps up and holds on tight. You jump rope with the polo brick clinging to your chest? I told you, didn't I? We're partners. And besides, a little extra weight's good for me. Anyway, I tested jumping rope. Tell us more about the scream you heard. It was scream of the guy, but the scream is less. And I should know. Wow, there, good buddy. There's a time and a place, you know. So it was clearly audible. Guy back into a corner, fighting for his life. You ever hear something like that, boss? Well, I have, and yeah, it was clearly audible. And that's all you heard? There was nothing else? Nope, nothing much anyhow. So there was something. What else did the victim say? You have to tell me. Oh, I do, huh? Why don't you come on over here and I'll see if I can make you squeal like he did. Whoa, 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 whoa. Forgive the kid here. He doesn't know when to quit. Come on, Miles. Apologize for the good man. But this is clearly important, and yet he insists remaining infuriatingly vague. Look, friend, how about you let this slide, please, for me? Huh. So yeah, I heard the voice like I said. Let's see. Oh yeah. Are you listening carefully, Mr. Carcerata? Huh? The victim died from a wound to the throat and very quickly at that. You say you heard the victim's cry, and yet that would have been impossible. But there must have been a scream. He said there was. He said there was? Ah, quit looking so smart, will you? Fine, I admit it. I didn't hear nothing, alright. But the guy in the next cell did. He told me so. The next cell? You mean? Huh. What do you want? I heard a scream. What of it? We came back from the show and they put us in our cell, same as always. Then, just like I told this guy, I heard it. A scream, a real scary one. Scary how exactly? Didn't tell him this part, I guess, but it was kinda like, eek! Someone, anyone, come quickly, he's something like that. Well, I guess it's safe to say that probably wasn't the victim. Indeed, it sounds more likely to have been the person who found his body. Ah, that explains it. So Mr. Carcerato was telling the truth, more or less. Is that really the case, though? Are there really no problems now with the testimony? There is. I'm afraid any problem has reared its head, namely. Why didn't you hear the scream yourself, Mr. Carcerato? Yeah, what gives, pal? How come you didn't hear anything when your neighbor heard it clearly as day? Ah, eek. What do you think I did? The crime or something, huh? From inside of this here cell? Carry that over in the workshop, in case you forgot. Well, yeah, it does seem a little weird, now that you mention it. He's right, neither of us could have done it. Cause let me tell you, if I could get out of this here cage and murder somebody, you all be toast. And ain't that the truth? You bums and leaving this place in one piece if any of us can help it. I'll almost forget that these men are hardened criminals. Well, I won't be doing that again anytime soon. I'm guessing this wasn't how you saw how this going. That's what. What's my next move here? I won't get much more out of them in this state. Overrule, what the? What's there? Order in the court. Who died and made you the boss of me, huh? Can't you see we're kinda busy here? Hush now, silence is golden. It is? Your hand, if you please. By the power vested in me, I hereby sentence you to blissful silence. Press B. A simple life awaits you. No money, no possessions. May the goddess of justice watch over you now and always. God, if you would. Looks like you'll be spending the night in solitary, buddy. What? Come on, please, boss. But any place but there. There's no need to be afraid, my child. If anything, you should rejoice. This is a blessing, a chance to redeem yourself, to be reborn. No. Oh, goddess of justice, bless your child and keep him in your care. Oh, Holy One, we give thanks in your name. And you are? Verity Gabriel, at your service. It is my honor to bear the title of judge and work at the pleasure of the law. And what is a judge doing in a place like this? Since you asked, Mr. Edgeworth, I have been sent here to find you. I come bearing a message from the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, and it is my sacred duty to deliver it. The Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence? What the heck is that? It is and first foremost a name that should not be taken in vain, my child, for it is a sacred phrase from the goddess of justice herself. Why don't I fill you in, kidda? The committee is a panel of 11 people whose job is to keep our beloved prosecutor honest. In other words, they make sure people like Edgeworth here don't cross the professional line. The panel is comprised of people from both the legal and political professions, a panel of which you are a member, I assume. I am. Allow me to thank you on the committee's behalf for your service. Thanks for coming to see us like this. Speaking for myself, it's a real honor to meet you. I always get to hang out with judicial compadre. Come on, bring it in and chillax. We're all friends here. Did I remind you that the committee has long-standing relationship with the Bar Association? Hey, I didn't mean anything by it. I was just trying to lighten the mood, okay? So your job is to find bad prosecutor and punish them. Precisely, my child. Praise be to the goddess of justice for bestowing her gift of insight onto you. The committee has the power to remove problematic prosecutor from cases, and should the prosecutor truly unworthy of the title be brought to our attention, we are vested with the power of confiscate that prosecutor's badge. And what does the committee for prosecutor, whatever is said, want with Mr. Edgeworth? We're in the middle of investigation here. Pitfall, you really don't know, do you? What an ignoramus. And who are you, pal? Winner. Eustace Winner, prosecutor extraordinaire. Though you might know me just as the winner, a name they call me down at the prosecutor's office. With great affection, I may add. I have never heard of you. And how about Detective Flatfoot over there? Nope. Name means nothing to me. Huh. Well, it's to be expected of an ignoramus, I suppose. Ignorance is sweet, as they say, so I'm sure most things mean sweet nothings to you. Ignorance is bliss, winner, and I don't think that sweet means nothing means what you think it means. It is entirely natural that you aren't yet acquainted. Eustace only joined us just last month, so he's nothing but a rookie. I'm not just any rookie, I am winning rookie, which he will prove himself to be in due time. Now let's cut to the chase. I'm here to clean up your mess, Edgeworth. What do you mean? What mess? I fear I know exactly what he means. Committee's sending the envoy with a new prosecutor in tow. I suspect I know what you're getting at, Winner, but I'm going to need a few more details. Would you mind explaining, Judge Gabriel? Farewell. By the power vested in me by the goddess of justice, I hereby declare that in the matter of the incident, the presidential address, and the murder of Mr. Bronco Knight, the committee hereby decrees that Prosecutor Edgeworth to be relieved in his duties and replaced by Prosecutor Winner. Here ends the verdict. What the hell? What? Mr. Edgeworth is off the case just like that? Judge Gavel, I believe I asked for an explanation. No explanation is required. The guilty verdict is in, the goddess has spoken, and her judgment is final. And what exactly have I done to warrant being taken off the case? Come now, Mr. Edgeworth, claiming ignorance of your crimes will not serve lesson of your guilt. You boarded the presidential plane, violating the principle of the extraterritoriality, and while there, you performed an unsanctioned investigation and subjected a visiting foreign leader to questioning. You were one wrong move away from causing a major international incident. You vastly overstepped the authority of your office. To call it an abuse of power would be no understatement. I don't deny that I may have pushed the boundaries where certain rules were concerned, but there is also no denying that certain risks must be taken if one is to arrive at the truth. I refuse to concede that my actions were inappropriate. Then what you are saying is that the ends justify the means, that rules can be freely ignored. That is a very dangerous way of thinking. The law is absolute. It's not to be bent on your whims. Forgive me, but not all of us believe as you do. Is that so? How unfortunate. Still, it changed nothing. When a trial ends, the hammer falls. Be you defendant or attorney, even if the verdict seems irrational, nothing more can be done. Nothing, that is, but to give thanks for the goddess of justice divine grace. Unless you wish to appeal. To do so will risk your badge, of course. So they mean to take my badge if I don't play along. Wow, a tough break, Edgeworth. I see you've accepted your fate. Good. Guards, if you will, be so kind as to escort him out. No, stop. What are you doing, detective? I'm in charge here now, so you'll do as I say and move out of the way. What? You're not the boss of me. Unluckily for you, Flatfoot, that's exactly what I am. They're hoarding all the cards here. I don't stand a chance. Detective comes here. Do as Mr. Winner says. But, sir, Jessica fell. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? The committee's decision is beyond irrational, so yes, I do plan to appeal. You haven't heard the last of this. Duly noted. Until we meet again, then. Let's go, okay? We're leaving. Right. Oh, and remember, you know who will be getting a full report on all of this.